Toyota is in some ways synonymous with hybrids. People, hybrid hegemony is a term that's used out there. And so Toyota has a pretty strong position with hybrids right now. Mm-hmm. And some people would say that you want to kind of maintain that position with hybrids and hold on to it as long as you can and not go as quickly as some others might to electrics where you don't have the first mover advantage. Is that fair? Are you trying to hold on to your hybrid hegemony?
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of money tied up into hybrids and a lot of intellectual property, but that's because it's a very good way to maximize the efficiency of the powertrain. I mean, you're going to get 38 to 40% efficiency, and it's a very difficult platform to compete against. And so we still see a lot of the market moving toward us, not ahead of us. And in electric cars, pure electric cars specifically, there's very little first mover advantage, and you're out there trying to figure out where the infrastructure is going to go and how the tow service works and what happens when your charger doesn't charge your car and all the stuff that some of the competitors are going to go through. So there's very little first mover advantage. And I do want to correct something, is that one of the programs that I actually managed was a retail program. I think we're the only company to ever have sold retail electric cars, and we did that in 1998 or 99, sometime around there.
So Toyota sold them rather than lease them as some other companies did.
Could I disagree with one point that,
sure.
Bill said there's no first mover advantage. And I think that's true to the extent of the technology and maybe getting mass market. But it does create a halo for the entire company, which Toyota understands better than anyone, what the Prius did. Yeah. And I think what Nissan is benefiting from, and GM to some extent, is this halo, which may not translate into direct sales of the vehicles, but creates a halo for the company that raises the profile, makes them look environmental, high-tech, and is great for the entire suite of vehicles that are sold by the company.
I'm a little cynical about that, because that opens the door wide for greenwashing, and I think the companies here are pretty opposed to doing that. And so when we talk about the halo effect and whether a company is a true environmental company, it has very little to do about the actual products you offer, and a lot to do with how you offer the product. So how you address the landfill, how you address the carbon from the factories, how you address the end of life. I mean, that's the really true environmental stuff, and the stuff that never gets talked about. Everybody says, well, a bigger battery is a greener car, and it's not necessarily.
But you acknowledge that the Prius gave Toyota a tremendous halo that other companies want.
Sure.
I'm a non-car guy, but didn't the brand value
of Toyota
go way up?
No, I won't disagree with that at all.
Mike Robinson?
To Dan's point, with General Motors and the Volt, I would tell you that vehicle has given us permission to have an entirely different dialogue with our customers than maybe we could have had prior to this. It has opened some people's eyes to other offerings that are good choices, whether they're electric or not. In the context of your opening statement, Greg, about the volumes that we're going to be looking at, you're probably going to ask us about that. The president didn't get those volume predictions from us. But we're certainly very excited about our product, and we think the Volt does some things that no other product will do. And we learned a lot during the same period that Bill was referencing in the late 90s, early 2000s. We were one of those companies that leased the vehicles and learned a heck of a lot about nickel hydride. A lot of those same learnings have been applied to what we're doing now with the Volt. And the balancing act that we've come up with for that product program is to provide enough range on the battery that people get the benefit of that. For the most part, that covers 75% of the population to and from work. The extended range capability on the vehicle deals with the range anxiety issue that we all talk about and worry about. So for us, at this point in time, we think it's a good balancing act. Customers are responding pretty well to it. And the feedback we're getting from the customers is very positive. That doesn't mean we're going to sell 1 million by 2015 in the industry. None of us are smart enough to know exactly what that volume is going to be, right? But we're optimistic that if we get the costs down enough, it's ultimately a value proposition for the customer. It's got to make sense from a financial standpoint.